The Meister stares intently at you. She leans in, her bloody tongue.
Still alive? Gods above, there might be something to you after all. Tell me, what did you see? What you know?
The Meister's eyes flash with fury, but she holds her tongue and steps back.
You are not a pile of ash, so the ritual was a success, albeit partially. You had all the material requirements, so I can only assume your source was lacking. That is unfortunate. I know exactly what must be done. You must find a master of source. And I could have helped you once, but no longer.
Meister der Quelle finden. Ich hatte euch...
The purging which the Magisters included as part of their service was quite efficient. They stripped me of my source. Not enough to silence me, but enough that I would not turn their insides to lime. Enough to sever my link to the font from which all source flows, and certainly enough that I cannot train you.
Zu trainieren. Schade.
So we must seek alternatives. Alas, the only source masters not yet hauled off to Fort Joy or turned into meat puppets are those too dangerous or cunning for the Magisters to contain. Sorcerers that allowed their power to corrupt them. Many are wicked, cruel, vile, and generally not good teacher material, but we may have no others to turn to. You will not be there long, I assure you. There is only so much you can glean from a twisted mind. However, it is the path we walk, no matter what the cost. No matter what is asked.
The Meister doubles over in a violent coughing fit, struggling for breath. After a few moments, she regains her composure, wiping a thin smear of blood from the corner of her mouth.
No matter what is asked of you, you must learn from them. And you do not seem to be paying attention. Sorcerers, evil, controlling your source, saving Rivellon, please. Please tell me at least some of this rings a bell. Your focus, your only focus, must be on finding these masters, on finding the secrets to divinity. Nothing else matters. The Magisters have kept ledgers with all known sorcerers, especially the powerful ones not yet captured. They would be an invaluable resource.
Die Magister führen Buch über die bekannten Quellenmagier, vor allem über die Mächtigen.
But do be careful not to get caught. I was their guest for a time. And I promise you the gallows was the most comfortable part. And if their barracks turns out to be as empty as their skulls, just keep your eye sockets peeled. There may still be powerful sorcerers hiding in these lands.
As she speaks, one of her wounds reopens, a dark red stain spreading across her tunic.
I wish there was more I could do, but in this condition, I would be more a hindrance than a boon. Godspeed.
Okay. Ich nehme mal so ein bisschen Source nehme ich mir wieder mit. Brauchen tun wir es immer. So. Gruppe wieder beisammen. So. Das hier ist abgeschlossen. Die Flucht. So, was ist jetzt das nächste, was ich tun muss? Meister Siva hat uns gesagt, dass sie noch andere Aspekte der Quellen lernen müssen. Es gibt nur wenige Quellenwerke, die uns beibringen können. Es haben Aufzeichnungen darüber in ihren nahegelegenen Unterkünften. Wir müssten irgendwie daran kommen, da Quellenmagier finden und helfen können. Okay, also suchen wir quasi Aufzeichnungen. Wo auch immer. Das ist das Magistrat von Neue.
You too, Julian. Show them how it's done, man.
So, geh mal hin. Wenn mehr als...
Set up now. Keep hauling that cargo. That's it. The barrels and the chests on the double. Go on, you mute sacks of flesh. Put your backs into it. The Lord Dread awaits.
The Magister stops, barking orders. He sniffs the air like a predator, turns to face you, the wolf eyeing the deer.
Oh, but yours is not a stink like the one that surrounds us, spat from a dying sea. Tell me, have you ever been strung up by the hands? Your body swinging like a bell's clapper as your bones are being broken with cast iron rods? We do cruel things unto...
He licks his...
See,
Okay.
I'd like to string you up too, rack you with rods and leave you dangling over a puddle of your own blood and piss. My favourite one. I'm very good at what I do, see? I don't even need a source hound yapping by my side. There was a whiff of something in the air when you were best convinced me I was mistaken.
Machen wir Stärke.
He leans in closer and sniffs the air.
Interesting. So I was mistaken. Must have been ambition I smelled on you, not the magic that dare not speak it very well. In that case, we'll forego the gallows and turn straight to the hut. The very definition of your orders. It seems peaceful here, doesn't it? A quiet day in a quiet town. One wouldn't think these drifting woods toss on dwarf trouble, but they do. Consider for a moment the dwarf. What is he? A mule, a beast of burden. But some defy that role. There are I've need of a rat catcher. Of course. I must depart post-haste, but Julian here will stay behind and be a good little parrot. Ask...
Stay behind. But I've my...
Like I said, Julian is staying. And with that, I must be off. No hard feelings about how very... One last thing. Should this happen... Adieu and good luck. The Lord Dread awaits. The use of the gallows.
The time has come, my stitched-lipped lovelies. We set sail. Get on board and man your stations.
Was passiert, wenn ich...
Left behind like a dog. Blah. 7 curses upon that ship.
The Magister is rubbing the dirt off his robes, none the worse for wear, apparently, from the blast of magic that knocked...
You! The supposed source hunter! I'd be whining and dining aboard the Lord Dread if a man of stature wouldn't be moored on a... But here I... Now answer me.
by the bishop's bones, you void woken. Raymond, too many things. Rumour has it the Dwarvian
Man.
queen herself is behind these. There's a local it may be in its wild. Should you find they've queen just in that. In short, should any come.
So, ein paar Bücher bekommen, also ein paar Aufträge bekommen. So. Okay, du bist kein Magister ausgewiesen, du hast Hafen. Du warst einfach nur im Hafen. Okay, suchen wir noch einen Mag. Suchen wir mal weiter.
Joe's a good swimmer.
That's close enough, Reptile. I thought you lizards were all hiding behind your Imperial walls. What are you doing in Driftwood? I'm someone investigating the disappearance of 4 Magisters. There's a sorcerer stalking these streets, an affront to our order. And much as I'd like to blame your scaled hide, you've only just arrived. Now, tell me, have you seen a man in a grey cloak, grey beard, carrying a satchel, perhaps?
The Magister's eyes narrow and her lip curls as she assesses you.
Okay.
It's vital that you report anything unusual. We must know. Is that clear? He arrived in Driftwoods as soon as he... Now.
The water looks nice.
Driftwood Fishworks. Driftwood Fishworks.
Das sieht eher nach Bar aus, oder? Gehen wir mal hin. Bar ist immer nett. Ich glaube, in der Bar ist auch irgendwo einer, den ich...
Rudy. Nova.
Pipe down, will you?
I know what you get. I just
Get you something, friend.
Nova.
Ah, jetzt habe ich die Gerste
Sit on the
verstanden.
wet list, the sodden ale.
Weep, my friends, for Alexander the Innocent.
Keep your eyes peeled, will
My
you?
sorcerers.
Ramos the Wanderer promised he'd be here.
Valiant warrior against the void. Same as I've been doing.
Pipe down, will you?
Sitting here.
The spirit of a Magister stares dumbly at her translucent hand, the fingers of which have been sheared off.
My ring. Where's my ring?
The spirit doesn't answer. She just stares at you mournfully. The spirit pivots her wrist, staring at the fingerless hand, utterly...
I should have been more careful. She hacked at my sword hand first. I couldn't defend myself.
The spirit stares, absorbing your question. Finally, she points her fingerless hand towards the kitchen. The spirit's lips part, trying to form an answer, but it doesn't come. She forlornly stares at you, unable to find the word. The spirit looks at you with the smallest flicker of realization.
I was still alive when she started cutting pieces off me. She wanted me to feel it. All of it.
The spirit inclines her head towards the kitchen. The spirit ponders your question and seems...
Oh,
She nods an uninterested greet.
Here for the fight. This is a tap piss.
A prim woman in a starched apron wipes a glass with a clean rag. She pins
Blessings upon our Lucian, 7 times divine.
the soft lines of her face.
I see your yes, that's a fine visit. Oh, but it's so good to meet a friend. No one in our little town can appreciate work so fine. Well, I'd love to show you, but I'm afraid I can't leave the bar on it. But here, take this key and head on up the stairs. You'll find Niall's room there. He'd want to know his...
Okay, einen Kammerschlüssel habe ich. Das ist cool.
Hold it. Papa no, you no go.
He grins unpleasantly.
Loha didn't tell me to let any blushing scale-face in, so why should I? You can't buy my friendship. Oh, you can buy 10 seconds of me eyeballs examining the ground for, oh, let's say, a small fork.
He pockets the coin and gazes dramatically.
Okay. Hallo meine lieben Freunde, das war's von Divinty Original Sin 2. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Ihr bleibt mir gewogen mit einem Abo, einen Daumen rauf und mit dem Aktivieren der Glocke. Unten in der Videobeschreibung ist der liebe Link verlinkt, mit dem ich der Let's Let's Player, natürlich der Link zu all meinen laufenden Let's Plays. Und ja, hier oben kann man mich wieder mal abonnieren. Hier sind 2 Videos, mit denen ihr mich, mit das letzte, was ich hochgeladen habe, und das Video, das der YouTube-Algorithmus für euch bereitgestellt hat, und ich verbleibe also Gaming Dragon mit dem heißen VWO für diesen Part. Baba und ciao!